It's time for the AFC Championship, and the road to a Super Bowl goes through Oakland. It's the Wizards and the Voyagers, and it comes your way next.
To the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback. And he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cunningham. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, a drop to throw. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Let's take it inside his own 40. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100 points the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
23 yards on the play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
A shocking one to bench. Russell Wilson for the final 2 games of the season.
They'll look to throw here.
He
finds his man, complete. That's Mills. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
I understand all the...
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Voyagers are on the board first here in this AFC Championship game. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Extra point attempt to come here. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And again, this is Nichols. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 now. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Great start, dropping his first target. Like that is,
and when you think about how this is a franchise, and really when I look at the Broncos, this is a franchise that, you know, even with Elway as their GM, could not get the QB situation right. They have tried search high and low for the next guy. And Russell seemed like he could be that guy. But even when this trade happened, you weren't sure. You were like, okay, let's see if Russ can make it happen here. So really, the Broncos have nothing to show for it except we are now just paying a guy $39 million next year, and he's not even going to be on our team.
Now, you can obviously spread that out.
Offense will come back out deep in their own
Spread
territory.
it out. It's still, that's a lot of money.
Is it Walmart money? Is it the worst? It's one of the worst, but I don't think it's the worst. I still think the Herschel Walker trade is the worst.
Why?
Because the Herschel Walker trade literally led to a dynasty by the Dallas Cowboys. Think about it. You know, if you think about that trade, remember, you know, for people out there, originally Jimmy Johnson tried to trade away Michael Irvin to the Raiders, to the then Oakland Raiders at the time. Al Davis talked about it. So the next person he thought, okay, we need play, we need picks and players. Who's the one chip that we have? What's Herschel Walker? So dealing away Herschel Walker not only got all those picks, but then Jimmy Johnson flipped picks for even more picks to really build out that whole team and turn the Dallas Cowboys into the dynasty that we now know back in the 90s. Now listen, I know everyone talks about as relates to Russell Wilson, you know, the fact that the Denver Broncos didn't reach the postseason. Sean Payton, Denver Broncos right now are clearly in the playoff hunt. They haven't been eliminated. Right. This is Sean Payton almost singly hunting on trying to get to the postseason for financial reasons. We all know what Russell Wilson is owed, but the Denver Broncos have an opportunity here with Russell Wilson to try to make the playoffs. The big thing here, in my opinion, we talk about the compensation, all the picks and stuff that was given up. I think for me, the fact that we don't know what the Seattle Seahawks are going to be, even with all the players that they got from this Russell Wilson trade. Now, if they go out there and they win Super Bowls or whatever, then I think it'll solidify it for me. But until we know what's going to happen in the Seattle aspect, for me, I'm still going to go with the Herschel Walker trade.
The one thing you do see is Seattle making the playoffs. So twice since he's been gone. Geno Smith.
Geno had a...
Look at those players. Weatherspoon, certified baller, right? You look at Mafe. Like, they have the fundamental. They were able to reboot their roster and rescope their team and be able to live with Geno Smith because of the Russell Wilson pick. You have to talk about Noah's fan, the players that they already got that was proven. It's hard sometimes because I feel like we're judging the result because we already know the end of the story. We talk about the triplets and what that led to the 3 Super Bowls. But to me, this had to go down as one of the worst. Right, and this is Sean Payton really just kind of burning the house down, right? And you can't tell me that he didn't go in there. We heard Antonio Pierce talk about the beautiful PowerPoint presentation that you go in trying to get the job. You can't tell me that he didn't have one that featured Russell Wilson. And the fact that he's given up on the project already means that he already had his mind made up before he went in there, right? So that's why you see him trying to be, creative and think of it as a reason why. That's why he paused and stuttered so many damn times, like Joe, right? When you think about what he's trying to do, like he's trying to make it, like, listen, make it make sense, right? And we have to start talking about this narrative that we talk about how coaches are guaranteed, but then how they can dump salary and get rid of guys, their contracts they committed for the first time, right? He doesn't care because he's going to get paid his money regardless. Sean Payton money is guaranteed. He came and he finding people to blame. If anybody blame Van Joseph because they lost 3 or 4 games early in the season because the defense sucked. One that we knew that was good the year before because they were top 5. He came and ruined it, gave up a 70 burger. I didn't know if I was watching the beginning of the NCAA tournament when I saw that score. I thought I misread what the hell the score was. right? So let's blame that on him, right? And the fact that, we knew that when coaches come in, he's going to have a honeymoon phase. And that's when Sean Payton's in, where he has more power. You see him getting rid of Randy Gregory, dumping all the stuff that they have. They're going to be bad for a couple years. They're going to try and rebuild. But at the end of the day, once you start pointing the finger at everybody else, you get rid of everybody. At some point, you have to point the finger at yourself, because now you're going to be held accountable from this point forward. And we'll see if he has that Joe Gibbs, if he has that Pete Carroll, if he has that, I forget, Nick Vermeil. Let's see if Sean Payton can have a second act, because we rarely see it be successful, because they're going to be searching the hardest thing to find out of all sports. As a franchise quarterback, to your point, they haven't found it, whether it was Paxton Lynch, whether it was Tim Tebow. They have had hard time in being able to develop a quarterback. Right? So we're talking about an environment where you don't have patience. You're in the division with arguably one of the best quarterbacks of a generation, and you have another generational quarterback in Justin Herbert. So we'll see. Right now, laugh right here. Sean Payton, you're getting rid of everybody. The same thing that you laugh, make you cry, because you may be on deck.
I'm surprised that in this one-possession ball game. How about the Deshaun Watson? Cleveland gave up 3 first-round picks. He barely even played. He was always injured. They gave him a guaranteed $230 million, and on top of that, you got a 38-year-old Joe Flacco.
But he's going to be the quarterback next year. I think, here's why the Herschel Walker trade isn't that bad. Isn't as bad as this, because Sean Payton is already punting on this season, and they have a chance to make the playoffs. That's how you know this is a colossal failure, because it's not about winning. It's not about we need a spark, because they've been playing well enough to have a chance at this point. Well, we have time to talk about Deshaun. Like, we got 3 more years left on that deal. Like, there's still time to see how that ends.
I mean, and the fact that they're still winning, we get the punt the same way you get to write the narrative when you win. Because right now, we could be talking about the Trey Lance trade and what that was all about, but because they found Brock Purdy, we don't bring that up.
I think Russell Wilson right now, 26 touchdowns past 6 months in the league. It seems like it was bad fit as opposed to bad football, especially.
Arranged marriages never work. Because they go 90-day fiancé.
All right, coming up, huge NFC matchup is going down in the Big D. But what would our crew rather have as their quarterback? Jared Goff for a playoff run or Dak Prescott? Let me tell you something. The answer is going to surprise some of y'all, and we're going to have much more. Of course, on that surprising news out of Denver. Where will Russ end up next season? We have some ideas.
They nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
So if you kept track of our picks over the years here on this fine program called First Take, you would know that my record is much better than Stephen A's. So Happy New Year, everybody. My New Year's resolution is to no longer bet Stephen A, because when I win the bet, he never lives up to it and delivers the goods. So that is my, why is he on camera? This is my moment. That is my resolution. Happy New Year. Wishing you all the best.
They'll drop the throw. Throwing the extra incomplete. It's done. And out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Football 101 there. You just see the trying to run down the defender.
Playing well and that, but when Dak Prescott on elephant. 9 ESPN Lions take on Cowboys. Big NFC matchup. Then New Year's Day, playoff semifinals. It begins 5 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN. Speaking of those Cowboys, boy, they'll be looking to put an end to their first losing streak of the season. They welcome the NFC North champions.
At the 35, so able to display his strength, but not much
at
room
home.
to operate.
Need to win to keep pace for the division title. Here's Dak Prescott on elevating his play.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Even on good plays with this thing that I feel like I could do better. And that's kind of what I've always been. And the numbers, and I know things kind of say I'm playing well and that, but wins and, to me, a quarterback goes off wins and losses. So if it's a loss, I could have done more one way or another. Trying to make a play here or there, getting out of trouble here or there. Whatever it may be, I'm going to continue to critique my game that way.
Okay, so that's Dak, Bart, which quarterback would you prefer? Playoff run. You want Dak, you want Jared Goff?
I mean, I got to keep it real. I got to go with Dak. Simply because when structure breaks down, Dak has an element of his game that Jared Goff doesn't have. And he's starting to implement it a lot more when we talk about his using his legs. And I think that's going to be key and vital. When the play breaks down, you see it with Lamar Jackson as well, buying time to throw, but also being able to pick up those pivotal first downs. If Dak decides to be the runner that he's been in his last couple of weeks, then and have a four-man rush and playing man-to-man coverage and turn your back against an athletic quarterback because they'll be able to pick it up. So I got to go with Dak Prescott right now. And championship medal was made out of pain. Nobody's had more pain and disappointment than the Dallas Cowboys. And right now, you talk about a young group in the Lions going out there. They don't know what they don't know, and they'll find out what playoff football is all about. A lot different from regular season.
You're not choosing with your heart.
It's all you said they don't know what they don't know.
That's one person.
That's all right, but that's okay. The topic is talking about the quarterback position. I'm going with a guy who's been there. Yes, they lost to the New England Patriots. Lost to the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl, but this is a guy. I don't know why you're looking at me sideways.
And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Did he get to the Super Bowl?
He did.
Okay, did he get it? Did he win it? Has Dak sniffed the Super Bowl? Has Dak sniffed the Super Bowl? No. And listen, I want to say this. Yes, Bart, you have a point about how Dak Prescott's been using his legs, to the betterment, and that's really helped them as far as how he's been playing this year. One thing I'll say about Jared Goff, I think Jared Goff is in a perfect place. He's in a perfect spot in Detroit. Cast off, number 1 pick, cast off. He's basically thrown in the tree. He's got thrown in the tree. That's exactly what I'm going. Guy who clearly has a chip on his shoulder. The way this offensive system is built around Jared Goff is perfect because they want to first and foremost love you and do what Jared Goff does best. As good as any quarterback in the National Football League, throwing or play action. Okay, to me, that's where Jared Goff thrives at. And you know what? You know why you looking at me all sideways and everything? We will have a first-hand look at this whole debate come this weekend. Dak Prescott against Jared Goff. So this whole discussion after this weekend.
I think this is where New York JC once said, "Men lie, women lie." So Jared Goff, last 4 weeks, you look at what he's done: 11 TDs, 6 turnovers. Dak Prescott, MVP, the last 8-9 weeks of the season. Dak Prescott has thrown the third most TDs in the red zone of any quarterback. There's 22 of them. First QB to throw for 30 touchdowns this season. Dak Prescott will keep playing and getting better and better and better every week.
Well, in case you did not know, though, this man is a Cowboys fan. Now, he is right, though. Brian is right. The answer is, Jack, from just strictly player and the skill set. I think why we've seen the Cowboys offense sort of have this turnaround since the season started is because of Dak's legs. I wish he would use those more. I wish it's that. I feel like that element of his game is what makes him special. Now, to your point about Jared Goff, they played, I think heading into the Ravens game, which they did get bludgeoned in, but heading into that game, he talked about how Jared Goff literally sent Detroit. Taylor Decker, a lifer in Detroit, sent there as a captain. Sent there, his career was over. People wanted to malign him. And what we're seeing now is Jared Goff having his career resurrection, which is wonderful to see. I think this season, to your point about Dak, MVP type of season, the numbers that he's putting up until a few weeks ago, Dak was the clear favorite as far as the MVP category for a lot of people, right? But again, still, with both of these quarterbacks, there's a lot more to see, a lot more questions to be answered on both sides because the turnovers with Goff this year has been an issue. And also Dak not being able, and this team not being able to beat good teams on the road, Brian, is an issue. So we gon' see. We gon' see.
Rushing yards than anybody. That's the reason why, one of the main reasons why Jared Goff is so good. Only behind Baltimore, I think, is Detroit. Because Gibbs and Montgomery have been outstanding. Is this a must-win, you think, for the Cowboys? Considering, look, they haven't lost at home, but Now all of a sudden they get another playoff team coming in there, and they haven't fared well against teams that are at the
But I don't think it's a must-win, because even if they do win, what does it prove to us, right? You know, our question marks about Dallas is the fact that they can't win on the road against an opponent that has a quarterback that can defend himself on the other side. Really, why, if you want to make a case for why it's a must-win, because the number one seed is still available. Because I believe San Francisco loses to the Rams, you know, because they're always playing well in Week 18. But, you know, get back to, like, the quarterback debate and who you would take. So, oddly enough, you know, the playoff record is a quarterback stat, but it's a team result, right? So, like, when you think about it, it's not the fact that Dak has been overpresented the margin on the offensive side of the ball. It's that his defense suddenly can't stop the run. So, no matter what, when you talk about on the other side, though, you talk about the Detroit Lions, they don't have a guy outside of Aiden Hutchins. They can't get big stops. They can't rush the passes. So it could be a short-lived, you know, type of result for them in the playoffs as well. We know what playoff football is all about. Packing your run game and your defense. The Lions have the most suspect defense out of all the teams that's going to be in the tournament.
It's the interesting though, the Cowboys have that left tackle spot over Tyler Smith, those guys being out, so that's been a big problem for them. But if you go to the Lions, that's what they do best. If you're Dallas, you got to show that you can stop a team that can bludgeon you running the football.
But this pass is going to wind up
I feel like
the defense finally starting to
we've seen Dak put up stats. We've seen Dak Prescott put up stats plenty of times before. At the end of the day, man, listen, you at home against a good team in the Detroit Lions. We know you Jekyll and Hyde. You don't go out here and beat Detroit at home. Now the narrative is going to be, okay, going to the postseason, this Dallas Cowboys team ain't doing anything. But now, the one thing we talked about how they play good at home, if that get destroyed psychologically for Dallas, you in a bad spot.
Because you're talking about playoff teams that they might see down the road.
Somebody's going to get upset first round of playoffs. It happens every year. But where Dallas sits right now, they'll be going to Tampa. So I don't know if you want to improve your status, because you'd much rather have that if you're number one. You got to go on the road. I'd rather go against Tampa than any other team in that division.
Okay, we'll see what happens here. Coming up next, how about Russell Wilson? Time in Denver. Most likely. But where will he go next? It's a debate you do not want to miss. And find out which legendary quarterback Josh Allen is drawing comparisons to, and just how high can his ceiling get. Mark D. Wood, all back for this debate.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best.
My New Year's resolution is I am going to make a commitment to conning Stephen A. into getting me more free dinners at high-end New York City restaurants.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
The holidays inspire us all to connect. With family. With friends. No matter what the road throws at you. So find the connection you're looking for this winter in a new Mazda SUV.
Wilson for the final two games of the season in favor of Garrett Stidham. Adam Schefter reporting team likely to release Wilson in the offseason. Here's what Sean Payton said.
I can't replace the entire offensive line. I can't bring in 5 new receivers. And if it continues over a period of time, there'll be another guy here talking to you as well. I can just assure you one thing. I'm just interested in winning.
Okay, Bart, so what do you think likely destination for Russ next season?
I was going to say Dance with the Stars. I mean, I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm truthful. I just don't know if Russell Wilson's made of the type of stuff to kind of get guts, get gritty all over again, right? I don't know, after having his prestigious career, this high-profile relationship, if he can go back to the basics and go fight for something all over again at the age of 35. I don't know if he's built to that. Only he knows how much he loves football, because it's going to be about restoring his reputation, more about securing another bag, right? You talk about Russ Inc. I don't know if that's good for business for him to go out and do the Baker Mayfield route. People talk about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield never hit the heights that Russell Wilson has hit. We never saw Phillip Rivers be a backup. We see guys of his resume and his stature go on and have high-profile jobs. I just don't know if he's made of that play. So that's why I say he's more likely to do a dance with the stars or being on a pregame show than he does in going out and actually playing for another NFL team.
About what you think?
Honestly, all the QB-needy teams that you could think of, Commanders, Falcons, you can name them all. I would say Falcons only because, what was it, a couple years ago, they were all in on Deshaun Watson. Literally all in on Deshaun Watson until the Cleveland Browns said, oh no, we're paying $230 million guaranteed. And the Falcons have not, despite having Desmond Ritter, despite the Taylor Heineke back and forth Ritter situation, they still need somebody. Commanders, I just don't. I think this is piggybacks on Bart's point, which is I don't know if Russell is going to want to go to a team to compete or take a backup job, because if he wants to take a backup job, he can go a lot of places. But if he wants to go to a team, let's say the Steelers, like, okay, you think they're kind of a now team, right? I'm only going to go to the Steelers. Like, I think that's a special situation. I don't know. I don't like that fit personality-wise. I don't like the Tomlin Russell, that locker room fit is not. That won't work. So again, a lot of these teams are rebuilds. A lot of these teams, I think you have to plug Russell into a system, a team that's built to win now. And I don't know the built to win now teams if he's a good fit for them personality.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I said the Atlanta Falcons, but I think that the piece that they have offensively, obviously talking about Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, they got 3 guys out drafted in the top 10. So they got talent down there, pretty good offensive line. But I'm going to go back to the conversation we had actually on Get Up This Morning. What I said is that I think this whole thing is going to be about how much Russell really loves football. Because we're now in a situation where
absolutely, I would agree, because
Russell's not going to be in danger, but he's going to be guaranteed, regardless of all the stuff, $39 million. He can just sit behind for a whole year and collect $39 million. Or do you want to get out of the mud and go somewhere where you may not even be named the guy? You may have to compete with a draft pick, another veteran, or the starting quarterback position. So that's the real question that I have for Russell Wilson. Like, okay, what now? Do you really love the game of football? Do you really want to go somewhere and kind of reestablish?
They're going to look to throw.
You don't have this massive contract, and you have $39 million coming to you next season, regardless. That to me is the real question that relates to Russell.
And that's the question that every athlete, Damian Bart, you can speak to this, has to sort of be confronted with. When you are not the guy anymore at your position, when you are not playing at the standard that you once held, your height.
Defensive back becomes the receiver. In this case, the receiver looked like a
yourself
defensive back.
Emotionally, intellectually, say I'm not that dude. But can I be just one of the guys? Can I be just a decent player? I mean, can I be a decent player? Can I just be? Do I have to be the guy? And a lot of players have a hard time, especially at quarterback, even when they haven't been on teams for a long time, understanding that.
I have a problem. You know what I think I have a problem with that is because most elite athletes, once you start to climb, you're like, I can't be average. When I know I've played at this level and I can't play at that level anymore, it's time for me to go. That's why this whole thing for me is a question of, well, how bad does Russell Wilson love the game of football?
How about this? Based off the, because there's a number of teams that you talk about. Hey, the Vikings, even the Raiders. I mean, there's a number of teams that can
a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
I remember a couple of seasons ago when he made that trade, we're like, whoa, Russell's going there. Man, this is the finishing piece. This is the finishing piece. When has this done his legacy? Because we thought he was on his way to the Hall of Fame.
Watching him take the swing championship. I mean, think about this. You know, I'm going to tell you the exact moment where I'm like, it's a wrap for that. It's when Denver traded, when Seattle traded Russell Denver, and then Geno came in and had better stats than Russell did in the exact same system. That to me told me everything I need to hear. A lot of times, man, like, who goes out there and deals with franchise quarterback?
And his kick is
I'm right. You don't trade away franchise quarterbacks unless you see it every day. Think about it. Pete Carroll was watching this every single day.
defensive side.
And he knew, he like, all right,
pretty good right there.
I'm going to trade you away. We can live with, I'm going to grind it out with
And they're not
Geno.
just living. They're not just living, they're thriving.
Right. Like, they are living, thriving in this Geno world, and Russell Wilson is over here in Denver, and now about to be cast off again. What we going to do?
I mean, I thought that he was on the outside looking in, right? Because I thought that if you won that Super Bowl, the one with Beast Mode, quarterback, two Super Bowls automatically goes in, right? So unless avoiding his resume, he still has work to do, like showing that he can be as effective with a new team. He can elevate another franchise. You know, and we kind of having this argument on Get Up. What we're talking about, what I was talking about is, you know, to me, he's Joe Flacco. And everybody at first glance, they laugh at it. Well, what does the number say? The number says Joe Flacco threw for 43,000 and ticking, right? 627 yards. Yo, Russell Wilson, 43,653, right? We talk about, you know, both the Super Bowl winners, Joe Flacco, the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Flacco, we talk about his playoff record. I think it's very similar there. You would never mix Joe Flacco in the Hall of Fame. But sometimes, you know, when you think about it, we don't really understand the full scope.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
We heard, you know, all the rumblings from the league and what they said. And, you know, we give them a lot of credit for the success of Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson was never able to do it once the league was dissolved. So I think this is Hall of Fame resume, I think, is void.
It's funny that you say it was Russell Wilson who was trying to get Pete Carroll.
And play is stopped here. Timeout.
I think this
it's the
comes down
defense calling the timeout here.
Is Russell okay
and as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines,
is Russell going to be the writer of his own story? He's got the pen. He can dictate how he said, he tweeted, God's got me. So how he chooses to move from now on, that will dictate what kind of career he ultimately ends up. Because he could have a Baker, he could have a Joe Flacco, Baker Mayfield resurgence where he may not be the guy, but is supplanted into that position. Again, I don't see them having it, but it can't.
They do truly have to go perfect. But I just don't know what environment that is, because a lot comes from Russell. Remember, he's never been known as a good locker room guy. He's a guy that isolates himself, and I doubt if he goes to a different place, they're going to give him his own office, right? We talk about everything that comes with the production of Russell East. So I don't know if somebody wants to put up with that, knowing that he may not be worth
Maybe he'll be different.
So he just gutter like Rocky going back and fight with Apollo Creed or something like that.
Just like that. Just like that.
How about we going to Philly to go ahead?
I need to put it on my radar.
Yeah, we'll see. If he got that gutter.
We will see. All right, still to come. Don't miss. Which current quarterback, Bill Belichick, is comparing to Tom Brady? And does our NFL crew agree with that? That's coming up next.
On third down, Baker. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
I always come in with consistency. I believe in the move because I wear a gold chain, okay? So my New Year's resolution, okay, is to make sure every single time I come on first base that I'm on set, that I'm going to be suited and booted with a tie. So my New Year's resolution is no more gold chains when it comes down to me on first base.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Baker. 55 yards rushing for him now as he's running 11 times.
Very disappointing rather than what we normally do.
Thank you for being part of my dream team.
We're not going to let you down.
This time around, we had the top of the injury.
Now left side, the completion is tight in.
Clearing that
He's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Here's a 2nd and 5.
I'm very proud to have you on my team.
Now a give, right side, Baker, and he'll go down shy of 40 at the 41. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground, 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Baker.
It's sort of like
he'll take this one down to about the 40.
Could improve for having
Credit with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yourself.
This is Shannon's alma mater.
He finds his man.
This is your school. Love you.
Getting 7 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
Because make it hard.
Stephen A. alma mater, Winston-Salem.
just get your graduated from the 8. You can get to anywhere from the 8. They don't think nobody cares to get
They'll set up a throw.
Love those road shows. You know, we got to get this road show.
Side complete. That's
what we got to get that road.
Inside the try before he's
Hampton University. We got to take this thing to Hampton University, and that crowd will be off the chain. All right, let's get back to our football talk, and let's talk about Josh Allen. He is having himself a career year. He's passed for 27 touchdowns this season. He's run for another 13. Also has accounted for over 3,700 yards passing. Built to 6 in the league. This Sunday, he'll face the Patriots and head coach Bill Belichick. That's some flattering comparison when talking about Josh Allen. Take a look.
It's kind of like Brady. Once Brady got to a certain point there in 2003,
they'll look to throw.
That's pretty much the way it was the rest of his career.
Wasn't
really like that in 02, wasn't like that in 01. Certainly wasn't like that in 2000. Once he got to a certain point there about the mid-season of the 03 season,
and come up with one more shot at the
in the playoffs,
to try and keep this series going.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
His level of
and he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
At the very top of the league.
And he's going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
They're able to sustain it. Sometimes you just don't know what the growth patterns going to be.
I'm going to tell you, that's high praise from Billy. Usually he'll just say, hey, good player, does this, does that, whatever. But he was
every time, not saying that's not true, but every time we talk to him before a Jets game, we're like, oh, he's a fantastic guy.
That's it. But he went on there. Daniel, what do you think? What's the ceiling for Josh Allen? Or has he even yet reached it?
1 quarter remains.
I think Josh Allen's he is a Hall of Fame candidate. I think he has that type of skill set. I mean, listen, we know, and just let me go back to what Bill was talking about. There's a lot of truth in that. Obviously, we talk about the trade with Stephon Diggs, kind of propel Josh Allen to a whole different level.
He's got this complete to Hamilton.
But it's just when you see that type of skill set coming to the league with Josh Allen, the size, the arm, the athletic ability, and I think most important, man, just the way the organization develops him. And Bill is right. Once you get to that type of that level, you usually can sustain that far injury. You usually can sustain that for a long period of time. And Josh Allen is one of the rare, purebred quarterbacks that we have in our game. I know we talk about turnovers. Trust me, I've been one of the guys that talked about the turnovers with Josh Allen. But I will also say, as it relates to turnovers, I would change the thing because you're essentially taking away who he is as a player. He's like a Ferrari. He's like that wild horse. That's the type of guy that you want out there playing the game of football. So I do think when it's all said and done, Josh Allen is going to be one of the he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Let me get to the mad right.
No, because I was listening. That was still, one thing to hear is just kind of internalize what he was saying. And when I see him, I don't see Tom Brady. I see Brett Favre because he's breakfast with the ball. And I think he still has a little bit of it all to do because in this league, there's a little bit of growth. And we're seeing the closing of the window. They have to try and get it done this year in a weaker division. He can go out and be a guy like Phillip Rivers when you think about a guy that put up gaudy numbers for a long time and never won anything. Because understand the environment where Josh Allen finds himself in, he's in Buffalo. And this is not a place where free agents are beating down the door. So, I understand free agents go to play with guys. I understand that, but for how long when you have other options? If you look at what Lamar Jackson is doing this year, right? Lamar Jackson was reckless in his body because he would go out and put himself in harm's way. Like, I get nervous sometimes when I see Josh Allen. I'm also watching Cam Newton. It was a supernova. It was beautiful. It was magnificent to watch. But it ended short. And Sean McDermott had a front row seat to that because he's still, you can't let a guy be himself. You know this Lamar Jackson, he scrambles to throw now. And he only runs to be special when he has to. Josh Allen has to understand that he has his team, future in his hands. His health is vital. Right? I just worry about him taking these big hits when he goes Josh Allen mode and starts to say, I'm going to be the best athlete out here running guys over.
But I will say this, though. If you watch, since they fired the OC and Joe Brady, the way they play offense is different.
But they're running the ball.
Right. They use James James is actually a pretty good quarterback.
When things so bad, guys like that always reverse who they are. By nature, he's a risk taker.
But he's also a supernova.
Supernovas are beautiful. They don't last long. Just ask Cam Newton, MVP of the league before his career.
No, The ceiling for Josh Allen is 100% a Super Bowl MVP, and Hall of Fame. That's the ceiling. He is that talented of a guy. What will stop him is roster construction. Because Bill Murphy got mad at me early in the season because I said, Josh, tends to turn the ball over, and this window is closing. With this current team as it's currently constructed, that does not mean that the window is closed on Josh Allen's career. But these Bills, who are good enough to win now, that window is closing because you see a lot of guys on defense, they're getting older, they're not going to keep them. However, to think that Josh Allen can't accomplish these things is just crazy. It really will be, can they continue to build around him knowing that you're going to have to pay him? That's it. My career.
As long as I'm playing, the window is open. To me, it's the same thing with Josh Allen. As long as Josh Allen is on the field, their Buffalo Bills window is open.
It's a question of ceiling. What is he capable of doing?
In the Hall of Fame.
Right, that's it. That's what I'm saying. We're not predicting that in his career he's going to win 5. I don't know. I'm not Leo. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying, because look at what he has to face. So if you're giving one to Josh Allen, who are you taking one from? Taking one from Lamar, taking one from Joe, taking one from Patrick Mahomes.
I'm just saying, they're all, to me, they're all like it goes back. It's almost like the conversation of, game manager versus, game manager.
Don't start that again.
Josh Allen is one of the 4 quarterbacks in this league that are legit game-changing type players, guys that can literally lift the organization on their back.
But the window is closed because Gabe Davis on this rate. Right. And if you don't just rebuild that window in 1 or 2 years, they can high for your Von Miller.
You can. When you have the quarterback position figured out, it makes it a whole lot easier to build around that.
The 49ers are a great example of a team that's able to, year after year.
They got a cheap quarterback.
When the guy that is carrying
Jimmy G was cheap. He wasn't high on the market. This guy set the bar. So when you do that, you have to start, listen, when they pay you that money, me and Woody both experienced this. You got to start saying, okay, what teammates you want to cut? You got that big contract. You go to the
iterations of the Indianapolis Colts when Peyton Manning was there. Like, you go through that. Like, you have, when you have the quarterback position solved, that's the biggest piece of the puzzle.
Yes, but you also have to hit on the other positions.
It goes back to what Kelly said. The organization.
Really got to be able to draft location. I'm not trying to be sold in 3 months out of the year. I hear about that. How would I go play with Lamar Jackson? Or I can go play with Tua Tagovailoa and no state taxes. There's a lot of places I'd rather go with when you get to that point.
Von Miller went to go play with Josh Allen in Buffalo.
There you go.
By the way, you talked about Cam Newton. How about this? 4th straight season that he's had 40 combined passing, rushing TDs. He is 3 TDs away.
That's Cunningham. That's good for a pickup of 10 yards.
Rush for 10 TDs. Did that in 2015.
Can he dominate when his body fails? That's the difference.
Looking to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. 2nd and 15 at the 28-yard line. Back to throw here. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their
pressure comes and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The fourth down pass play doesn't work out, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit, but boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Wizards are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Important extra point up and through. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The situation for him offensively as follows. Down by 8, a minute 55 remaining. They need a touchdown to keep their Super Bowl hopes alive as they come up on first down. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Here's second and a yard. They'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Baker. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Holloway. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may put a period on this AFC Championship game. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Now a timeout called for by the defense. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Here's Nichols. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. So, Charles, oh so close on one side to getting to that Super Bowl. Oftentimes, we just show the stage and the glitz and the glamour and the confetti. You sometimes forget about those guys going home. It's got to be tough.
It's got to be beyond tough, because finding a way to steel yourself, make that resolve to come back and do it again, because it took a lot of work just to get to this point. It's going to be a difficult offseason for them. Let's see how they bounce back.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.